Welcome to G252 Live. I'm your host, Andy. Wow, man, it is week 11. It was almost 3 months ago that we started doing youth group this way. That's crazy. We are in our new series, Walk the Walk. And today we're going to talk about live different. You see, God's people live differently. When I was 14, my family moved to the island of Maui. I know that's rough. And one of the things I love about Hawaii is the fact that it is such a melting pot of so many different cultures and ethnicities. Our potluck dinners at church were the best. I grew up in Central Virginia, so when I moved to Maui, I noticed the people were different than the people in Lynchburg, Virginia. They had an accent that was different than the Central Virginia accent. They used words that come from all different languages. I was used to words that come from, well, redneck. The people were different and they lived different. I'm sure when they met me, they recognized some differences. As Christians, we're part of a different culture, God's culture. God's people live differently. There should be something different about us that people who don't know God recognize. Hey, why are you different? Let me read this week's memory verse for you. It says, I have been crucified with Christ. Now we all know that Jesus came to this earth, lived a perfect, sinless life. He went to the cross and died for our sins. So when he was crucified on the cross, he paid for my sins. So basically, I died on that cross with him. And then it goes on to say, it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. Christ lives in us and through us. I take the back seat. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Listen, my life is lived out by faith. I believe in God. I believe he loves me. I believe Jesus came to this earth to die for me, and I trust him with everything. I'm living out my life in faith. That comes from Galatians 2:20. Memorize that this week. Listen, God's people live differently. How are you living differently? Thanks for joining us today. I'm so glad you were here. We'll see you next week on G252 Live.